and every day, okay? Kisses, kisses, kisses. Bye. Healing, hope, community, a place to heal. Relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom into a bloom, blossom into a bloom. I am Jessica. Sup. I am a Reiki Master Teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special session, and it is all about growing through chaos. It has been quite a doozy, this Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Inhale. Exhale and release. Let that go. Let that go. Just release, 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 release. Let it go. Let it go. One thing I am not is I'm not afraid. It's not because there aren't scary things. It's not because uncertainty isn't around, but simply being. I only have so much energy, and if I want to continue to treat myself right, share with my loved ones, and still be able to connect with others, some's got to give, and so fear had to give. And that's what it is. There's so many things happening in the world that move me, that make me feel angry, make me, but I also understand incremental change happens. Oftentimes things bubble to the surface because things are changing, or sometimes things have been happening before people knowing, and it finally comes to light. There are so many things you can do incrementally in your everyday life to push yourself forward into the world you want to be. I'm going to be honest, there's not going to be a huge resolution instantly. It's little things like voting, like the purchases you make, like how you educate yourself and how you learn, being able for themselves. A lot of people, for so many reasons, have so many things weighing on them that it's hard for them to free themselves from things that they can choose not to have. Everything feels like it's not a choice nowadays. But with that being said, you get to choose how you live this life. You get to choose who you are. You should do things because they're the right things to do, not because it's popular, other people are doing it, not experiences, okay? It's not all or nothing. It's just simply a balance going through life. That's it. But there's a whole lot of feelings and a whole lot of emotionally immature ways of living that has been kind of the norm. And maturity is not something that someone looks at you, emotional maturity, and says, oh, this person is emotionally mature. Emotional maturity is something that you get to a place of understanding about yourself. Do you feel that way or do you not feel that way? You know, it's okay to change your mind, it's okay to grow, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that. Sometimes people start to act or mask or try to demonstrate a perception, a stereotype of maturity or emotional maturity or this or that in order to elicit a reaction from someone that, you know, they want that particular reaction. Don't worry about none of that shit. All you need to do is just find what makes you happy. Find work with yourself each and every day. I take my time. It's a process. I used to zoom through life, and now it'd be taking me a long time to do things. But I feel better. I feel more complete. I feel more at peace. I used to try to lift myself and everybody up at the same time, but I don't feel that way at all. Now I feel like as long as I can feel like, okay, I gave myself grace today, it gives me the peace of mind to come and tell you to give yourself grace. I mean, that's pretty much what it's come to, during this journey. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you have more peace of mind. I hope that you understand how to continue to grow in chaos. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to make a very big prediction. As time progresses, I've been saying, no matter what the situation or circumstance looks like, you find your best way to grow. And rightfully so, many people are not going to be able to do that because they're overwhelmed. There's so many things you got to, go through and heal through. But as someone who's been doing this for so long, somebody who has, slipped up to, back in the day of, I can't, or being unrealistic of what I could accomplish, I now feel like I'm so in my element and so in my zone that don't be surprised when you see 5, 10, 15, 20 years what I'm doing. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm one of those people that thinks you can always grow. You should always learn, and you don't need to know everything. You just have to have the ability to listen and be flexible in your mindset. Okay, babies, you don't have to be one-dimensional. You don't have to feel bad, and everything around you doesn't have to be together in order for you to build on the life you want. Okay? So, like I said, if you take anything from this, go after your dreams and goals. The easiest way to do that is to, come up with a plan, but to go slow and to be graceful and gracious to yourself when you hit the certain walls of discomfort when you're going through your process. Secondly, be a decent human being. Care about others. You might see someone's access or rights being limited and you may not care, but let me tell you something. When you don't care about other people's ability to just live their life peacefully, eventually over time, it will encroach on you. Your rights and your access to things will be limited. Okay? So do the best you can do. Make sure you vote for people who support making sure that everyone feels comfortable and accommodated. And also know that in times of economic uncertainty, in times of many kinds of political uncertainty, that you still have the ability to use your brain. You still have the ability to know what is right and what is wrong. It is so lovely to feel like you're connected to other people. It's so lovely to feel like you're a part of something. But sometimes you got to walk alone. Always educate yourself. Do what you can reasonably, because it's better for you to do small incremental things in a reasonable amount of time than it is to try to do a big thing, be burnt out, and then never want to do something again. Just do the little things. That's how we create kiss on the floor knocking. So come here. And for my returning babies, what do you get? You get multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay, peace. ourselves to share with each other. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So I'm just going to start just gently, just wiping some stuff away. There's a lot of stuff to get rid of, and it's okay, it happens to all of us. So just be patient with yourself as we go through it. Just with every swipe, just allow the air to move through your body and be released. Keep going. Keep going. Now, just going to work the energy over here. Just inhaling and exhaling and breathing. I'm just working on bringing the agitation down. It's like energetically any other muscle or response. The more you use it, the more you trigger it. The less you use it, the less it's triggered. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. So, calming that down also helps the nervous system because you're not always reacting. Your body isn't always in a fight or flight type of situation. So just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and release. Just breathing in and out. You should feel good. You should rest assured to know that you are safe, you are protected, you can relax. You shouldn't have to worry. In this moment, you just let it go. So what exactly are you letting go? First, it starts off as either very specific or very vague. I want to let go of the anxiety and the stress of war. I want to let go of the stress from this or that. And then in that process of removal, that process of moving through the energy, you start to get down to the actual layers and levels of what is needed to be removed. And so, when you do the work to remove things, you also have to take yourself out of the environment that triggers it. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. And sometimes people don't know it any better, and it just is what it is. But you can't, for example, complain about a partner. You can't complain about a friend. You can't complain about family and say that they are triggering you and then still be around those triggers. It'll drive you insane. Instead, think about it like this. When you react to things, are they worth the reaction? You have to ask yourself, what can you actually make changes with, and how should you do it? Boundaries are important, but boundaries aren't punishment. They're not things to do and maintain a situation. What it is you have to change your environment. You have to change your life. You have to change how you want things set up. So, not having access, not being accessible, finding your peace and living in your peace and just being grateful for that. It may not make sense to everyone at all times, but that's not the point. The point is finding your peace and finding your happiness. So as we're removing the stress, we're removing the anxiety, we're removing accepted by this new type of community that we have online, that we have to sacrifice our peace. We have to sacrifice our access. You thought it was bad before when you would go somewhere and then people would access you. Now we are accessible at all times. We are engaging at all times. There are no boundaries. So what I'm trying to say is this. You think that you put a boundary on something because you said, oh no, but then you're constantly engaging in the type of information or thought processes or insight that is that same stuff. You're just kind of hiding behind a wall. No, let it go. Release it. Release all of that stuff. And find that power that is within you. Not everyone is the problem. Sometimes we are the problem. On top of that, sometimes there's not really a problem at all that's bringing this anxiety and stress. It's just a refusal to move on. Move on. Let things be what they were. Grow into something new. See things from a new perspective. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there for yourself. And put yourself out there doesn't mean, oh, you go out there and you're taking all these videos and pictures and you're sharing it for that. No, put yourself out there. It's like, oh, I'm curious in this thing. I think I want to learn about it. You go and you learn about it. And you do your thing there. Or I want to experience this thing. Well, let me make sure it looks picture perfect. No, don't worry about any of that. Just experience and enjoy. Oh, I want to do this thing. Well, I don't think I should just do it. Just enjoy life. That's what it's about. So if you want to get this stress down, if you want to remove this anxiety, you have to remove the situations that are bringing you this anxiety. It's not complicated, but it's also not easy. A lot of times it's simple, but we can't really see it all the time because it requires a lot of discomfort. We have that discomfort that we get from something hurting us, but we also have that discomfort that we get from something being new and unknown. Do not confuse the two. Somebody playing in your face or you playing in somebody else's face is different than feeling nervous because there is an unknown. Sometimes people's nervous systems are so engaged they can't even tell the difference between the two. They want it to look perfect in order for them to move forward something that is healthy. It is just adjustment. When you go into the unknown, eventually the unknown will become familiar. And it is just adjustment. It's not scary. But take your time and show up. And you know within your heart, within your energy, within your mind, where you want to be, what is best for you. And just trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. Everyone is not always able to have access to you. And so we take that serious in the physical world, but take it serious online as well. And that's not just access on people knowing what you're doing. It's not just that access externally, but it's, or going outward, it's the access going inwards to what you're engaging with, what you're viewing, what you're seeing. You want that anxiety to come down, reduce it. Sit in the moment and just breathe. Disengage from that kind of stuff and reconnect to yourself. So inhale stuff that people are upset about have been happening for years. So what is it now? Is it access to information? Sure. But I think that there's more voices and there's more chatter online about more discourse. I'll use the term discourse about every little thing that's happening at one time, that it's overwhelming and super engaging at the same time. And so if you want to remove the anxiety, you want to remove the stress, you have to stop engaging. And what I mean by that is you have to take a break from certain things. The things that aren't bringing you balance, they aren't bringing you peace. Take a break. So the way that people lie to themselves and not take a break is they want to stay informed. They want to know what's going on. Yes, there's nothing wrong with staying informed and knowing what's going on, but it does not require you to be on social media for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day. You can get a quick little recap every morning or every evening for like 30 minutes, you know. But I think that is the excuse. I think the reality is it's just this addiction, and the addiction is to help with the stress of life, the stress of this, the stress of that. It is self-soothing in a kind of way, but it's perpetuating the problem. So I'm not saying that social media is just so terrible as we are communicating together. I'm simply saying that, you know, things can be great and we can engage in it in moderation for our own well-being. And if it's a contradiction, well, you know, that means less people would watch you. Okay, I am a healer. I have been saying this for a long time. My goal is to help as many people as possible find balance in their life. You think that it makes me happy to make people perpetually sick so they come back? No. Believe me, there's many people in the world who could benefit. I'm not worried about people getting better and moving on as they should. I'm not worried about that at all. But that is not the state of how we engage online. And oftentimes it's very frustrating for me to have to see that. But, you know, I support everyone's right and access to do it. You know, I don't think it's like we need to limit this, or we need to physically go in, someone do this. I think it should be an individual choice, and no one should be responsible for doing this for you. You want to reduce this stress, you want to reduce this anxiety, you have to sit within yourself, find peace within yourself, find grounding within yourself. If everything that you see and that the conversations that are going on around you are getting you worked up, what is your grounding? What grounds you in your reality? And sometimes that's taking a step back to realize that and to honor that. And, you know, whether you feel guilty or not, doesn't matter. Do these things to help your overall life. So inhale, exhale, and give yourself permission to do so. Who is going to tell you you're not allowed to do this? The reality is when you take a step back and you're just present in your life, kind of sitting here with your own energy, you stop putting up with foolishness. I equate this to when people complain about things and then they talk to somebody else and they're like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, and they just vent to somebody and then they feel better and walk right on back into whatever that issue is. But, you know, it's like that. It's, you're able to vent so that then you go back into it. No. Removing the venting means that you remove yourself from the situation. So that's everything from the mind as well. We've talked for many years on this channel about boundaries with people. But we also need to talk about the structure that we give ourselves for our internal world. It's not always a person that you also how we structure our everyday life. That how your everyday life goes. Say you separate yourself from everybody, but then you're still in chaos with the content that you are consuming. You're still going to have the same problems. So you have to be really intentional with what you want. You know what you want. You know where you want to go. And when you disengage, when you take your time back, you finally have the time to work towards it. You can see things clearly. But if you're always engaged, you're always kind of stuck, then it's going to feel like every little move you make is never big enough to get to where you want to go. This is the kind of mindset stuff that you have to work through. So that stress can easily be lowered simply by taking the actions to what grounds you. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath. Exhale. And sometimes people got so much going on that they don't even know. They upset about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of these things. This is the most stressed I've seen people. The most stressed. Absolutely no. We're not going to circle around the drain with each other. What we're going to do is we are going to find our peace and our happiness, and we're going to stay there. I don't care what it looks like on the outside. The outside doesn't change until the inside changes. And I'm not saying that in a kind of way that you force other people, or you force this, or you force that, or that magically when you hope for better on the inside, the outside changes. No. When you ground yourself, when you're not living in a constant state of chaos, you can then take deliverable actions towards whatever you need to do to reduce the stress and anxiety. When you ground yourself, you can then take deliverable actions to change the outside. It's not the magical thinking of, well, if I hope and wish for it, it'll come to be. It is the grounded thinking, and when I take a step back and I understand who I am, why I'm doing the things I'm doing, how to go forward, then you can clearly make these decisions without overthinking, without it needing to be a big think piece. And you can do what you need to do. And that's how you make changes. That's how things shift. But there will be time where you have to go inside and you have to disengage. And who cares what, anyone else thinks about it? They can kick rocks. So take another breath here and release. And don't fight yourself on it either. I've had so many people tell me exactly what they want, how they want to get it, and struggle with that reality. Why are you struggling over something you know you want? Why are you struggling off a path that you know you can do? Oh, well, it's not, it's going to take this time. Okay, you got a whole life. You'll be fine. Just do it. It's time worth spent. Well, no, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. You're stressed out in other areas of your life, and you want this to be this redeeming thing that makes you feel good. You're looking for another addiction, or you're looking for another vent or another pacifier. When it comes to building the life you want, there's going to be times that are fun, that are boring, and hopefully just a little bit of tough, mostly boring. That's what it is. But the only reason why you need something that's equally as engaging and happy and bright all the time is because this other stuff is pulling you in another direction. Release it. Let it go. Send it on its way and find yourself grounded in the middle. This might go over some people's heads. And it's going to be what it's going to be, okay? It's going to be what it's going to be. But what you want and where you're going is completely possible. Even now, even in this moment, it is not in any way now different than last year, the year before that, or who you choose choose to be and how you choose to go forward, and what energy you allow in your life and what energy you release from your life, that is up to you. It is no one else's responsibility. It's not everything has to be perfect and then you believe in yourself. It's you believe in yourself, you take the actions, and you grow the outcome you're looking for, okay? Okay. Well, babies, I'm going to leave you with that and give you some extra kisses. I know it's hard. I see a lot of struggling. I see a lot of just stress. And sometimes going inside can feel like, wow, can I ignore the plight of the external world? And I don't think that that's it at all. But I don't think that you should lie to yourself and think that constantly engaging in 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours of discourse online makes you smarter or makes you more aware of what's going on, and not realizing that a lot of times things are just addictions. We're looking for things that are distractions for how our life is going and excuses for why we can't make deliverable change. Not excuses because we're bad or anything like that. We just need relief and we need release. So in order to do that, I would say bring yourself back into yourself, disengage from some of these things and ground yourself. And once you get that clarity, make those actions and be consistent. It's not going to make sense to everyone, and that's okay. You keep on doing it. You're an intuitive bicycle bike chat, and welcome to your nightly, daily self-care practice. So if you're new to this community, babies, you are now my baby. So you get one. If you're new, you get one kiss on the forehead. And if you're my returning babies, you get multiple kisses. Mama loves you. It is always my intention to lift your mood. Sometimes we'll tackle heavy things and sometimes not so much. But even when we tackle heavy things, at the end of the day, I hope that there's a lightness that comes to you that just lets some stuff go, you know? We're always going to experience things. It happens. But you don't have to put even more pressure on yourself and be mad at yourself just because you're human. So I hope that in this space, you're able to let some shit go. You're able to let some of this stuff go. Okay. Well, day number 3 of our chakra cleanse series. So we're gonna do the solar plexus, and I know you already saw the root in the sacral. So we're gonna go to the solar plexus. And if you want to, each day you can just watch them back to back, or you can choose one day at a time. It's up to you. But it's a way to kind of clear and cleanse out, and we're preparing ourselves for the new year. So if you would like some extra special, just energy flowing, join the Patreon community. It's $3 a month, and we are doing the rebirth, cleanse, healing circles. So that's going to be happening now. So we meet every Sunday and we just come together and we check in with each other. What does that sound? Also, join us on Patreon. It's $3 a month. I was going to do like that, but clearly I don't know how to count. Join us on Patreon. It is $3 a month, and we are going to be doing the Rebirth Cleanse Healing Group. So I've already put some cleanses up that you can follow to prepare us for the new year. And we meet every Sunday just to check in with each other. So it's a wonderful way to prepare our bodies and to just remove any heaviness that we might be feeling. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. So if you're new to the community, we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, may I touch you? Put one hand on the forenoggin, one hand on the heart. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Dear universe and all for the highest vibration of good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to
embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Okay. So now we get to go right here to the solar plexus. So take your hand and go to where your ribs are. Right there. Okay. That is the energy of the solar plexus. I was like, oh my gosh, why is it? I think my ribs was like, where are my ribs? So right where the breastbones meet, that is also known as where your chi would be, or that storing of energy. It's so amazing that when we look in various schools of healing, both ancient and modern, indigenous and modern day conventional, that the digestive system or the stomach area is a huge part of healing. I talk about this a lot, like for example the microbiome that lives in your gut and your colon, things like that, is 70% of your immune system. It is what protects you. It's what gives you life, essentially, or maintains, helps you to protect the life that you have. And when you go and think about where you store your chi, where you store your life force, it would also be right there where that meets. So just sitting here, breathing in and out. Good job. One more. Okay, I just want you to get really familiar with your body, activate your body, connect with your body, okay? Exhale, release. Okay, so I'm gonna just widen this up, because 9 times out of 10, it's not because someone is too confident, it's because they're not being confident enough. But I like to think of it like this: have Saturn's rings. Saturn is the planet of discipline, but Saturn's rings are really wide, and so what you want to do is you want to take up a lot of space, but you also want to have boundaries in that space. You want to go, you want to be confident, but just because you're big, you're confident, you get a lot of people who are now attracted to you or coming to you, or things like that. It doesn't mean that you have to let everyone in. So you're going to have Saturn's rings here. And I notice that sometimes when someone is a people pleaser, or someone has poor boundaries, they don't want to be seen because they don't know how to say no to people. Not today, baby. You're going to have to say no. And I promise you, the quicker that you say no to someone, the more they're okay with it. When you drag it on, when you don't tell them no, when you go back and forth on your boundaries, that's when they, flip the script a little bit on you. So don't do that at all. If it doesn't, as soon as you feel it, if it doesn't feel right for you or right for you at that time, just say no, thanks, no. But still go about being confident. So let's just pull this energy out and just take up space. I want you to take up space in front of you, to the side of you, behind you. All of that, just taking up space, taking up, taking up, taking up, taking up space, taking up, and just taking up space. And see this protective shield, this protective bubble around you, and just allow that to be. Allow yourself to have a bubble. Allow yourself to have a protective bubble to do, what we're just talking about. So just shifting to that. Just working that all the way around you. Working your energy, flowing, working your energy and flowing. Just, okay. Now, right there, you can also stick your hands, if it feels right to you, place them right there at your sacral again, where the breastbone meets. You can have, as we talked about before, different hasta mudras, based off what you need, but just bringing your hand positions, just bringing your hands right there to your center, and be with yourself here. I know it seems very physically. You remember where your strength comes from. You remember where your passion comes from. And you accept yourself for who you are. And so I'm just going to place my hands right there as well. And again, just breathe in and out. See your passion. See your strength. Accept yourself for who you are. See your passion. See your strength. Accept yourself for who you are. See your passion. See your strength. Accept yourself for who you are. See your passion. See your strength. Accept yourself for who you are. Okay, release. How do you feel? How does it feel? Okay, so let's just work through that. Work through that. Work through that energy. Work through it. And balance it. And it's important to have balance on both sides. Okay. Just balance. Balance. Balance, balance. Balance on both sides. Both sides. Both sides. Just placing that on top of you, your energy. Relax. Keep breathing, and I'm just going to just go above a little bit. Just looking there. Okay, good job. Good job, good job, good job. Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. And move. And relax into that. Okay. Now we talked about this in the sacral. We talked about having our solar panels, our sundress, whatever it is for you. And today, I'm using the example of Saturn's rings. See them grow around you, okay? Get as big as, your arms reach. And then get as big as your space. And then get as big as your home, house, apartment, wherever that is. Then get as big as your block, your region, your continent. Get as big as the planet. And be mindful. You can be seen without being overexposed. You are available for what your soul came here to do without people taking advantage of you. You can be big and bright without having to step on people. All of these things are possible with appropriate boundaries. Just keep working through that. Keep working through that here. Just and so I'm going to just connect a little bit lower to the root in the sacral. chakras. And then, I've been hinting at a little announcement or whatever. I'm gonna tell you in a little bit. I gotta put it together, I'm gonna tell you and then I don't have it together. You're like, so I'm gonna put it together. I love it. So, But anyway, yes. So if you would like to get that extra boost as we are stepping into the new year, head on over to the Patreon community and join the Rebirth Healing Circle, the Rebirth Cleansing Circle. And so we're meeting every Sunday into the new year, checking in with each other and connecting. And of course, you can use my cleanses. You can use your own theory. So we are doing the Sacral today. So if you're new to the community, welcome, babies. That's a little clap. This is your nightly, daily, whenever time self-care routine, and I am your designated mama. I'm Jen. I also go by Jessica, or I'm Jessica, and I also go by Chet, and I'm just here to help you with your self-care. And so we're going to do some energy healing sessions. And so if you're new, welcome, babies. You get one kiss on the forenuggin, and for my returning babies, you get multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay. balancing, going back, forth, back, forth, back, and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just, okay, so just balancing out the sacral here. Just breathe in and out. sun, and we're bringing this rain, we're bringing this good energy into the sacrum. Now, the most important part is dun, 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 patience. I know. It's not sexy. It's not fun, but patience, because when you plant a seed, you don't continue to dig it up to see if the roots are actually growing. You have to have some faith and patience that when you are routinely watering it, tending to its surrounding, even before it actually comes out into full fruition, that there is faith that there is movement underneath. Why do you have faith that there's movement underneath? Well, 9 times out of 10, whatever it is you want to accomplish, someone has tried to do something. Learn that there are certain things that you can't do. So those things take time. So have faith. Other people have been able to do it. They may be doing it now. So why wouldn't you be able to do it? It's because you can do it. Have faith. Another part is sometimes a person can feel like, just woe is me. There's something about me. I feel unlucky. And even though rationally they know this should work, they believe that it will work for anyone and everyone else except for themselves. And they start to have a self-fulfilling prophecy, meaning they won't go in and they won't water anymore. They won't tend the soil. They won't do anything because they're allowing the self-sabotage to happen. Other reasons can be a feeling of imposter syndrome. Whoa, this is happening for me. I have no clue how this is happening. Is what I'm doing really working? Forget all that. Don't worry about that. Wherever you're at in life is where you need to be. And if you are ready to grow, you get used to it. That's either taking in more in your life or getting comfortable with the more that you are receiving, whatever that is on this journey. Whatever that is on this journey. And just balance it out. You got this. One last breath. Fantastic. Well, babies, you did an excellent job. And I hope that you will join us on the Patreon community for the Rebirth Cleanse circles. Of course, let's cleanse this up, and you can choose to do your own cleanses as well. We meet every Sunday until the new year as a way to supercharge and get us ready to go on to that next level. So, if no one has said anything, no one has said this, nor blue, I am Jessica. Sup? I'm a Reiki master teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. We are continuing our chakra series. You can go ahead and watch it from beginning all the way to now. And now we are working on the third eye. So what you can do is you can watch them all eyes, you can keep your eyes open, whatever you want to do during this time. But how that activation works is that you just relax and start to allow images or smells or some type of sense that resonates with you to show up in your mind's eye, in your mind's ear, in your mind's nose, whatever that is for you, and start to tap into what does that mean. Sometimes it just means you're hungry, and other times it can mean things. So when people are trained intuitives, trained in mediumship, natural or learned, they will typically tap in kind of more often than the typical person. So the typical person has access to certain things, but these abilities are typically amplified during these big moments in their life. So if you have a really, really hard decision that you have to make, a really large transition that you're about to make, that's usually when these abilities are amplified versus someone who may just be kind of tapped in all the time, whether that is something they choose to do or something that they were born with. So everyone has the ability, it just shows up at different times. And I think it's because during those very tough periods or during those big transitional periods, we are so activated energetically, we are so tapped in energetically, regardless of if you feel like it is a positive or a not so positive experience. We have so much moving around that it starts to activate these senses that we have. So and especially when things are difficult, we might be looking for solutions. And so solutions can show up in a multiple of ways. So now what I'm gonna do is just open that up for you. So if you've been feeling stagnant, if you've been feeling writer's block, if you've been feeling not as motivated as you would like to be, or if you are motivated but you're just not getting the results that you're looking for, call my 1-800 number and no, I'm just kidding. Or if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, let's try to open you up so that perhaps in this session you feel a little bit calmer and more clarity. I feel like that's how it is when someone's like, I have a solution for you, and it is behind this paywall. So, if you're just a community, I will try to crack as many jokes as I can, because the most important thing is that you feel better at the end, and I will do whatever I need to do to make you feel better. But just open up. Just open up here and exhale. Open up. Exhale. Oh, and like a crunchy side note. So they have the Miss Cleo documentary coming out, and I'm so excited to watch it because I think that's a really good example of when someone can be tapped in, but because they are not presenting as themselves, they fuck up their whole situation. So the whole idea within the third eye, which brings up the conversation of clairvoyance, mediumship, so clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentient, the ability to be able to see something, know something that you shouldn't have access to, but you do know, or be able to kind of see things happen before they actually happen, versus mediumship. I'll work on you too. Versus mediumship, which is being able to communicate with those who have passed on. Now, there are many cultures, many ancestral cultures, indigenous cultures. Everyone has some type excited for this Cleo documentary because I remember growing up and seeing the infomercials, and I felt like she tapped into people, but I also felt like the stereotype of who she was, you know. Could she have come out and done readings for people just as she was, or did she have to take on this Caribbean stereotype of how media wanted to see her being portrayed? And you know, she was an actress too, so it's all that. So that's nice and interesting. And I'm one of those people where I'm all for the documentaries, okay? I'm all for the documentaries. I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but I think it's really, really important. You don't just believe everything someone says. You take what you need and you leave what you don't. But most importantly, it's all about activating these things within you, because only you, no one else outside of you, only you know 100% what you need and what's best for you and how this life will play out for you. I can't see that for you. You can't see that for me. But only you can see that for yourself. So I like to encourage people to strengthen that gift for themselves, and sometimes people go on to help others and continue to train. And I don't think this is talked about often. I know I talk about it in my apprenticeship, but training is so important. And I don't just mean one time, I mean continued education too. Every year I take on a new modality or heighten a modality that I'm already working on, because I believe knowledge is important. I believe practice is important. And I believe from learning from the community and the elders that are around me. And sometimes people can get caught in just learning one thing and just, oh, that's it. So all my apprentices know, okay, you're going to learn Reiki, but you're going to learn some other stuff. And you have to keep on learning and keep on growing. That's a part of the process. So just clearing that out for you. And I hope that what we're talking about brings some clarity into your life. Because sometimes you may feel like you're not good enough, or other times you feel like you don't, for some reason, have the insight. And I guarantee you have the insight. You have what it needs for you. Now, you may not be able to go and boss somebody else around in their life, but you know 100% what you need for yourself. Trust yourself. The greatest gift you can give yourself is trust. And even when you look at situations where you feel like, oh, was I right here or was I not right here? Just understand that everything is leading you to an opportunity to make new and better decisions. So maybe you want to make a decision right now, but you got to open yourself up a little bit more, because what you need is a little further down the road. So keep on going. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't feel like what you want in life is not worth fighting for. And also go through the process of change. There's a lot of things that we all feel like this is how things should go. And rightfully so. Life will humble us and open us back up to new possibilities. Sometimes possibilities that are bigger than where we're at now. So I want you to have the ability to be able to see clearly what it is that you want. What do you want to attract in your life? What do you want to bring into your life? Let's bring that now to the forefront, okay? Bring that here. And most importantly and authentically, if you don't get nothing that I've said today, get this. Be yourself. Be yourself. I understand the concept of faking it till you make it. Faking it till you make it doesn't mean that you are another person. Faking it till you make it means sometimes you have to go in there with confidence even when you don't feel that confident. That's it. But be yourself. Sometimes you gotta walk into the room as yourself confident, even though maybe you don't feel that confident, but you walk into there as yourself. That's what it is, not put on a whole new, personality and persona and things like that. because who you are is there. And I think that there are many iterations of you. And so those iterations form and they grow and then they become open and they reveal themselves and all of that stuff, okay? So don't be afraid or limit yourself. If you've been kind of struggling, if just things have been getting out of balance for you, just know that you within yourself, you know what you need to do, you know what you want. Sometimes there are periods where you kind of have to work hard towards something, or And if you have a site, but you feel like, oh, I don't trust it, that seems hard, you need to get comfortable, very comfortable with trusting yourself. And sometimes the universe and your body will. Chakra series, and we are going to be working on the throat. So right there. So if you're new to the community, babies, welcome. This is your nightly self-care routine, or a place where you come, you take care of yourself, you heal, and you do all that great stuff. And if you're new, you're now one of my babies, and you get one kiss on the forenoggin. And if you're returning, you're good. Multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay, let's begin. We start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Wonderful. May I touch you? May I hold you? Okay. The hands right there. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So we're just going to scan lightly over the throat because we just want to see what's going on right there, okay? Breathe in and out. Just slowly right there. Okay, perfect. more mindful of your breath. Intentionally breathe. Intentionally take up space. Intentionally take a big inhale. Intentionally exhale. Breathe it all out. And be mindful, maybe for just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You are training yourself to feel more comfortable with your voice. Because if you're already shy, or you may not be a shy person, you just have something that you might have kind of a difficult time talking about or advocating for yourself, it doesn't help if you're already restricting the air. What you want to do is you want to put some force behind that, because the intention is already there. Put the air and just make sound. That's it. You don't even feel like you have to do the extra mile, okay? The intention is already there. Just put air and float it on out. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. You get a star. 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 Okay. You get tons and tons and tons of gold, platinum stars. is also an internal thing too. How do we communicate with ourselves? How do we value our own opinion or our own voice? How do we set the foundation for what it is that we expect externally? What are the things that we do on the inside? How do we do those things? Okay. Just balance. Balance. Good job. And rest your voice. Yay! You're doing a fantabulous job. And just inhale, exhale. So speaking about using your voice, I have excellent news. I finally can talk about it. So, every year, per usual, I do a giveaway during this time of the year, during December. And I wanted to make this giveaway very meaningful. And the giveaway is a spot in the fall 2023 Reiki Master Teacher Apprenticeship cohort. And I am loving the current cohort. It's a lovely, wonderful group of powerful individuals. And I learned so much more. As a facilitator, I learned so much being in the space, and I learn about the lives of the apprentices as well. So that is something that I want to give to one lucky person. And the program is a year-long program. If you don't know, head on over to ReikiHealingHope.com and you can learn more about the apprenticeship, of why I choose to have a year-long program and what is it that is important to me when creating an environment for well-rounded energy healing practitioners and things like that. So, in order to enter, what you do is, this is going to be exclusive for the Patreon family. So for all of those who have been working very hard on our rebirth cleanse, the cleanse that is getting us nice and ready, I was going to say nice and fresh for 2023, as a bonus because you've been working so hard. You will be able to win a spot in that cohort, and you just simply answer the question, why are you ready to be a healer? And so the Patreon community, it's $3.33 a month. And for me, I take a lot of time to think about financial accessibility and pricing things that I feel like can be attainable at various levels. And so you all know the apprenticeship is more expensive. And then the Patreon community is something that I try to offer in order to have that community, that collective feel, but to be mindful of varying budgets. And so my gift is to be able to hopefully help one person through their journey of becoming a healer. And just myself. one kiss. And for all of my returning babies, multiple kisses. Mama loves you, okay? So, let's begin today's session. We start our session with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer, just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, may I touch you? Okay, let's go. Ready? Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So let's start here with the crown. And so I'm just going to work through that area in the crown. And so the crown is your highest self, your highest understanding. I could say that it could almost be loosely related to your ori, if you know what an ori is. That crown is that place of the connection of understanding between you and the universe. I could say you and the divine, whatever that is for you, but really it's just the highest representation of we are a part of everything, and everything is a part of us. So it is that macro view. So let's work through some of that macro view. So just working through that area, and just we're going to calmly approach. Up here in the crown is typically where you're not going to get very agitated. You're going to see things, you're not going to be very subjective. You're going to see things from a very objective view of everything that you've ever experienced is for your highest vibrational good. Or I think to take the positive and negative values out of it, let me say it like this: everything that you experience, your soul needed in order to learn something. All of the experiences. And that can create a really difficult position if you faced a lot of just fucked up shit in your life, to think that those things would happen for your highest good. That's something that as you start to reflect over your life and you finally get to a place in your life where you're happy and you're healed and you're whole, you'll see the wisdom from all of those experiences. And yes, you could have learned them in other ways, but if your soul saw this set of circumstances and said, I'm going to come into this life in order to find the light on the other side, that is big concept stuff. That's not necessarily us, carbon based. We don't want to be in no trauma and no drama, but the soul works on a higher level. So only you know 100% the reasons why, or the clarity, or when you will feel comfortable knowing that. I remember when I first started this practice, I used to tiptoe around that conversation because very horrific things can happen to somebody in their life. And to say that those things are a part of the wisdom that we gain, it kind of creates the question of, well, could I have learned it another way? Of course you could able to get over that, you're able to get over anything. If you're able to get over those situations, there's nothing in front of you that can prevent you. So if you're working from a place of wholeness, know that you've faced and encountered worse, but now it's time for you to move forward and step into more and greater experiences for whatever you want this life. So I'm going to go back into the ground. So whenever you have maybe uncontrollable thoughts, just feelings that are all over the place, it can be a sign. It doesn't have to just be this part, but it can be a sign that the ground is not balanced. So you should not be doing light work. You should be doing shadow work. Again, you should not be doing light work. You should be doing shadow work. Why? Because you're not ready to receive. Stop trying to receive when you need to get rid of the excess energy. Because you might just be wanting to feel good. And there's nothing wrong with feeling better if you've lived a life where things are just very tough. But the thing is, you gotta find a way through that discomfort to a place where you can genuinely feel balanced. So let's just give you that opening and that awareness. Opening and that awareness. Opening and that awareness. Okay. Just work through that. Work through that. And let me tell you something. Nobody is perfect, obviously, but everybody is going to make decisions that are stupid sometimes. But after you make the dumb decision, what do? You have the wisdom. You're like, I'm not about to do that shit again. But there's no amount of someone else telling you, don't do this, that it weighs heavier than when you experience it. And now I'm not talking about something happened to you that you couldn't control. Now I'm talking about the things you actually can control. So, with that being said, open yourself up. Open yourself up to new possibilities. And you didn't go through those things in vain. You experienced those things. Now pull from it. Pull from the lessons and the wisdom. Not to make you scared or stuck, but to say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do it like that again, okay? And yeah, I should have listened to myself, or I should have listened to so-and-so, or I should have read the room a little bit. But that's okay. That is normal. That is normal. I think this is probably the best information or advice for parents. You cannot go and make your kids not experience life because you feel like you experienced it for them. No, they're going to make stupid decisions. They're going to do things that you're like, okay, dum-dum, like, what are you doing? But it's because they don't have the years of experience or the knowledge that you have. So they have to. They're building up that Rolodex of knowledge. So have a little bit of compassion, because if you want to be an A-plus parent, even if you weren't a good parent before, or you were a fantastic parent before, especially when your kids become adults, or even when they're younger too, what you should do is say to your kids when they say something stupid to you, or they say something to you that you're like, are you bonkers? You know, say this. What you're trying to do will probably not work out, and this is why. But I support you. I'm gonna let you learn the lesson, but I support you. Because I think at the end of the day, no one wants someone to just agree with them. What they're really looking for is support. So tell them that ain't gonna work out. That's a bad idea. But just say I support you anyway. And let them learn. Don't take away that for them, because what I see sometimes in people, karmic things, is they carry other people's baggage lessons, and then they start getting bitter and they start feeling like, oh, they're overgiving, being a people pleaser. No, you're carrying another person's lesson because you felt like you were strong enough to carry the lesson than they were. It wasn't for you. You got your own lessons that you feel like you're not strong enough for. Let them build up the strength to do that. That's the point of a lesson, to build up the strength, especially when you get older and it's less of things are just happening to you and more of you get to start to choose the lessons that you go after. You get to start to choose those things because you're now more in control. So just clearing that out, and I hope that this is providing some just big picture macro view of how to look at these things. I guarantee you do not have to freak out with life, okay? And I'm not saying to not have emotions or not to honor your emotions, but I'm saying you do not have to build something higher than what it is just because you saw other people do it, just because you don't feel like you're balanced. You have to develop in any experience that happens internal balance. And you only develop internal balance by going through something and choosing to return to balance. Don't judge yourself when you kind of go to the left or the right, but just bring yourself back into balance. Find that balance within yourself at all times. Find that balance within you at all times. Never give up. Never let go of your dreams. You can do this. You can figure it out, but also things are not as hard as you think they are. Things can be difficult, but it is that concept that we've seen in many wisdom traditions of suffering, and the understanding that the difference between discomfort and suffering is that you may not be able to control if something is really easy to do or is more uncomfortable to do, but you can control suffering, meaning this makes you feel, let's say it makes you feel 10 pounds of discomfort, but over here the suffering adds an additional 50 pounds of weight of discomfort, so you're carrying that around. Let go of that and just deal with this. And sometimes you gotta check your people, situations, and circumstances, because if you're around other people who normalize both, it's gonna be hard for you to do something different. Because what typically happens is that, say you let go of that, you're only dealing with this. When other people look at you, they will assume that what you're dealing with or what you're going through is lighter than theirs, is not as difficult as theirs. And so that might make you feel like you're not being accepted or you're not being supported. So be mindful of the community around you to either check somebody and let them know, or surround yourself and include other people who have a lighter sense of perspective, as well as your situations and your circumstances. Like if you go to work, you have a toxic work culture, you may not be able to work in the dynamics that you need. Like for example, if you have someone who's like always excited and that's how they get people motivated, and excited meaning like I'm stressed out, we need to do this, we need to do that, that's not healthy. And if you try to go in with balance, they're always going to try to do something that is, because they're not working from that place, they're working from all over here. So maybe you should work somewhere else. And maybe you should decide, okay, is this the best place for me? There are many jobs out here. Do never feel like you have to be stuck in the one that you're at, even if you're doing the same kind of thing, but just doing it somewhere else. And again, do not confuse discomfort. Sometimes you have a busy season. Sometimes you just have a lot of stuff that you gotta get done, with the suffering or the toxicity, which is, it's a toxic culture. They're adding more to the plate with the amount of energy that is wasting my time. I could do something else. I'm gonna be very honest with you, especially when it comes to working environments. As someone who is self-employed, I have gotten so much of my excess weight of worrying and having to deal with other people's worry. And there are many teams out there that don't ascribe to that. So there are so many options. You do not have to be stuck there, even if you've been there forever, even if you've been there for a little bit of time. So just know what you want. Just know where you're going. And believe in yourself, okay? So let's just bring down any messages from the universe, divine, or whatever you believe in or don't believe in. You know, I don't care. It impacts me 0% of what you believe in. I'm just facilitating a space here. So just bringing down these messages and bringing them to yourself. And being open to whatever you receive. Being open to whatever you receive. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Good job, good job, good job. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed the session today, and I hope you enjoyed this mini chakra series. So now that we have all from the root to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, and to the crown. Now that we're at a point where we have all, feel free to just go in and watch it through. I've created a playlist so you can kind of just watch it through from the beginning all the way down whenever you need it, or you come in at the little parts. Also, as you know, we're doing a giveaway, so the winner will win a spot in the fall 2023 Reiki Master Teacher Apprenticeship cohort. I'm so excited. I'm having a great time in the current cohort, and in order to enter, what you do is answer this question: why are you ready to be a healer? But I made it a special treat for those in the Patreon community. So if you'd like to enter to win, you have to be a part of the Patreon community, and all of that information is in the link in the description. So today we're working on the heart. So if you're new to the community, babies, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your self-care routine, and I am your honorary mama. So if you're new, you get one kiss on the forenoggin. And if you're returning, you get multiple kisses. Okay, mama loves you. So I want to remind you that we do have the Rebirth Cleanse Healing Circles that meet on Sundays on Patreon, and Patreon is only $3 a month. And so there are some cleanse herb pairings that go along with that, and we just check in with each other, and we feel good on Sundays. So sometimes if you just need a pick-me-up, or you just want to be in collective energy and space, we just go and you know, we check in with each other. So we're doing that now. And special announcement, I'm gonna tell you in a little bit, okay? So inhale, exhale. So if you're new to the community, we start a session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. position in which our energy is just seeping out from us. So we might feel tired. Sometimes that brings on addictive behaviors because you're trying to cope with what's going on. So we're just going to work on here. I'm just working through that. So for people who are people pleasers and they just want to say yes to everyone here, understand that there are ways for you to take up space, to be seen, to be nice, and to say no. This is my number one rule. If you want to say no, or if you have to say no the first time. Because if you don't say no the first time and you go back and forth, that's when it becomes harder and harder to say no, simply because that's when the other person takes offense, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Don't worry about that at all. Just say no if it doesn't feel right. And sometimes things don't feel right because they're not right for you, or they're not right for you right now, and you have to honor your body. And this is the most important part. If we don't take care of our body, our spaceship, our soul can't go anywhere. It can't do what it's here to do. Just work through this. Work through this. Balance that out. Balance that out. Balance that out. Balance that out. And just work through that, okay? Just those shifts out. Just doing a little bit of repairing for the heart. And then just putting it back together. That if anyone ever hurt you, betrayed your trust, or if that you ever hurt someone, betrayed their trust, because look, life isn't just happening to you. We don't live in a world where only you're hurt, no one else is. We all have things that we're working through. We have shame, we have sadness, we have all kinds of things. So instead of internalizing them, let's just work through it. So we're working with the heart here and just taking those subtle shifts in the energy and working and just taking that movement and finding just a good space, a good place, and just the heart. Now what I want you to do is similar to what we did in the solar plexus. Go ahead and take your hands, and again we had this one for the solar plexus. You can just do this, just a gesture of you ever heard something you really like, you're like, place it right there in your heart, to the center of you. Placing it right there in your heart, and feel yourself. Feel your purpose. Why did your soul incarnate into this experience? What are you here to do? See your purpose unfold in front of you. When your soul floats around here, when it comes in and when it leaves out, what was the purpose of this for you? What did you want to do? What did you need to do? Why? Inhale. Exhale. Good job. Those with a balanced heart have a balanced life purpose. So we're going to send this energy up able to do this. You are enough. And you are able to do this. You are enough. And you are able to do this. You are enough. And you are able to do this. Keep breathing. And just let your energy be balanced here. Let your energy be balanced here. Let your energy be balanced here. And that's just to relax you a little bit, because I just want you to feel at ease and at peace in your body. Allow your soul to be. Okay? And I'm just going to take care of you for just a little bit, because sometimes we just need to be taken care of. And the most empowering thing we can do is to take care of ourselves. Now that's a game changer right there. You start taking care of yourself, you be like, yo, listen to other people's mess. And you start to live the life that you want to live and have what you need to have. Okay. So, open yourself up. And I want you to think about someone that you love deeply, can be here, can have transitioned on. Breathe in and out. Exhale, release. Pull that memory of them into you and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory into you and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Think of that person, pull that memory in and enjoy that. Remember taking those hands right here. One more time and just, can you feel their love? Can you feel their warmth? Can you feel their protection? Are you tapped into your own love, warmth, and protection? Do you see that you're loved? Do you love yourself? I want you to take this moment to just simply say, I love myself. I love you. I love you. Or say like this, I love me. I love me. You can say your name as well too. And just bringing that over. Bringing that over you. Bringing that over. Bringing that over you. And relax into that. So, open yourself up. See into the heart. Believe again. Trust again. Trust in yourself. Trust in humanity. Trust in yourself. Release and let go. Good job. Well, babies, you have done a fantabulous job. I hope you are enjoying this chakra cleansing series. I know I am. So something that you can do is you can watch these videos back to back. And so, as each one comes out, or if they've already come out by now, the magic of the internet, just watch them back to back. You can do the root, then you do the sacral, solar plexus, then heart. universe and all for the highest vibrational good only. Please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am, Ashe. Okay, so let's do that. So deep breath in, exhale, and we're going to start at the root, and the root is at the base of your spine. So we're going to go all the way down and just take a couple moments here. Now, things that you can do is you can kind of choose like perhaps a hasta mudra, which are hand positions. You can choose a hand position that is appropriate for what feels comfortable to you. You can also do some research on the different meanings of what you need to bring into your life, or you can just rest. I'm like acting like you can see. You could just rest your hands right there on your lap as we work through this session. You can be lying back. You can be sitting up. You can be doing stuff, whatever. So going there into the root. And so when working with the root here, we want to make sure that everything is balanced. Just go in and start to shift here. Okay. And also removing and moving out anything that may take up too much space, if that means something. What I mean by that is when something takes up too much space in the body, what ends up happening is the energy can't flow down properly, which is a gesture of manifesting. So that root chakra is that last, or technically first, chakra in order to get into the material world. And if it can't go down, then the energy can't go up as well, which is a gesture of going up and receiving and attaining and getting wisdom experience of yourself. And sometimes, as much as it can be easy to externalize and say, so and so, makes me feel this kind of way, that's why I'm afraid to do it. I want to say most of the time, it's a lot of self-imposed sabotage, meaning I'm not used to myself like that. So it makes me really uncomfortable that now I have to grow past my edge, past my limit, in order to step into this next, whatever it is, in order to fulfill this next, whatever it is, in order to reach my potential at this moment in my life. Just know it's a part of the process. We all have an edge and we just work a little bit more. I think when we're younger, we're a little bit more hard-headed. We be skipping over the edges. We literally just jump off the cliff, or we will refuse to go to the edge at all. Just a hot mess, okay? And you know what? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes people get older and they don't change. They do the same shit over and over again. But I'm saying all of that to say that just practice in your own way of just widening up. And that's taking up space, being heard, but knowing that if it is in your heart, it is worth being out in reality. It's worth being out in the physical. You do not have to be sad or feel like there's something, some invisible bar that you have to reach before you're allowed to share yourself with the world, before you're allowed to advocate for your dreams. No. I'm just going to keep cleansing that out. And I want you to take some breaths here, because I want to remind you to get back into your body. To get back to that feeling in your body. To remind yourself, I am here, I'm alive, I am present, and I'm ready. And so just clearing out any blockages that have to do with money, that have to do with community support, emotional balance, well-being, adequate housing, whatever that is for you. Just balance it, balance it, balance it, balance it, balance it, and release. So just pulling away any excuses. And sometimes you may not necessarily know what the excuse is, it just feels heavy. And if something feels really heavy on you, in order to kind of get it off of you, you have to lighten up things within your body. And lightening up things typically means you can't take things as personal, you can't take things as serious, you can't, as I say, beat a dead horse. You can't expect a new outcome to come from the same approach to something. And there's a difference between that and discipline. Discipline is you're making movement towards where you want to go, but you just don't feel like doing it. But you are making movement in progress. Might be a little bit slower, might be a little bit faster, but you just don't want to do it. Versus what I'm talking about over here, insanity, is you're not going anywhere. Sometimes you might go backwards a little bit, but you don't want to go to your edge and learn a new process or think of a new approach, because maybe at one time it worked for you then, but it doesn't work for you now. I just need you to know the difference. One is you're working towards progress. One thing is you just don't feel like doing it. The other thing is you're not really going anywhere. And let me tell you something. This one over here is typically when you're safe. This one is when you're uncomfortable, there's discomfort and there's growth. There's a reason why people do this. A lot of times, there's not really, you're going nowhere and you hate doing it, like it's typically not it. You may not like where you're not going, you may not like, okay, I'm not going anywhere, but there's a sense of comfort. Well, I've always done it this way, I don't feel like doing it another way, and there's a bitterness about it, versus over here, which is like okay, I'm open to this new way, but it's hard. It's hard showing up each and every day and just trying and putting yourself out there. That's difficult, versus I'm too afraid to step out of my bubble, so I'm gonna just complain. I don't like it, but I know how to do it, and I'm just gonna complain, versus over here. So I just wanted to separate the two because there's a difference. So live over here, but take your time instead of feeling like you gotta rush to the goal or rush to the direction. Just take your time. Don't freak yourself out and just traumatize your nervous system. Take your time, just move a little bit over there. And our body will always do whatever it can do to keep us safe. So that's why we may not like where we're at, but we'll stay there because we understand it. There's a safety behind it. But understand that there will be a new normal if you push your body to a new limit. Just take your time in doing that. And just balance. Keep going. That is why the rebirth healing circle with the cleanses that have been happening every Sunday, that's why they're so important. Because if there's a heaviness, a need to just let go, that is one of the places to do so. And we're doing that to the new year, baby. Just work that through. Okay, take some breaths here. Tell me how you feel. How's it feel? Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. I love that for you. And if you're like, I don't feel good, I don't love that for you. What you have to do is just take your time. You can watch it over again. You can just breathe through that and release. But understand something. All that have watched the video, are watching the video, or will watch the video, that is a collective energy. And we're all healing together. So you're not alone in this. We're all doing it. We're all working through it. So know that we can make it. Don't feel like you can't make it. We can make it. We just take our time. We all got different timelines. So you just take your time. Breathe in and out. Relax. Well, so if you're new to the community, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So what we do is you can participate in the healing, you can fall asleep, or you can just set it to the side as you carve out this time of self-care. The most important thing is that you have self-care in your life, okay? Well, if you're new to the community, we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, it is just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a collective in a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, babies, you ready? Okay, let's do this. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information from our highest intentions only. Please allow us to let go of that which we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, okay. So when you get started, take a deep breath, exhale.
exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, exhaling, release. Inhaling, exhaling, release. Inhaling, exhaling, release. Inhaling, exhaling, and release. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Just move this energy through. Move this energy through. Move this energy through. Move this energy through. Good job. Work the energy. Good job. Release the energy. Fantastic. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Release. 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 Remove. Good job. Good job. Good job. Chakuri, 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 chakuri. Anja se shanang. 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 Saheki. 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 Daikyo-myo. 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 Riku. 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 Breathing through this. Inhaling and exhaling. Working your energy here. And I'll just remove anything that's taking up too much space. Just take that out. 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 Take that out.
family. Checking in on my sweet babies. How do you feel, sweetness? Exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale, release. You're doing a fantastic job. Just relax. Just relax. Just relax. Just relax. Well, babies, you did great. If you enjoyed our moments together, please feel free to use the comment section to let me know if there's any kind of session that you're interested in, because I love reading those comments and seeing what you're up to. Also, continue to carve out your self-care journey, your self-care practice. It's so much bigger than this moment. You know, I hope, and it is my intention, to set a space out for you to take care of yourself on a nightly basis. But I also understand that, you know, self-care encompasses an entire lifestyle. So just to continue to take care of yourself in the everyday decisions you make too, in your day, you know, in your weeks and your weekends and stuff like that. So, sweetness, if no one has said it to you, I'm going to go ahead and say it to you. I love